Hey world, I'm Sherry, but people call me Switz. I played Division I collegiate basketball and played professionally in Switzerland and Romania. After playing ball, I moved to Brooklyn and met fashion designer Kimbali at a New York City party, and the rest is history. We are giving dope individuals a platform to share their journey and connect shared passions around the globe. Welcome to the Kimbali Podcast. All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kimbali Podcast, a show dedicated to elevate dope individuals, share the journey they have been on, and connect people around the world with shared passions. I'm your girl, Switz, and today it is a privilege to have Julian Horton, a Division I collegiate athlete, NFL wide receiver, and most recently has taken his talents to the screen, where you can see him in numerous film and TV projects. Julian, I just want to say thank you so much. How are you doing today? Everything good with you?
I'm blessed. Thank you for having me. I'm just honored to be on your show. It's a privilege.
Yeah. And I see you were representing the Dodgers right now. Is it safe to say you're out in LA?
No, actually, I'm in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
Still, I'm going to be out in LA soon. I got to go film out there. But, it's also for Kobe, So it's just to see the KB, So I'm on both sides, really. But, yeah, I love the jersey, too. The blue is just amazing. The royal blue is crazy.
Yeah, clearly you're traveling. So again, I know your time is valuable. So I truly do appreciate it. But as I said in the intro, the show is all about elevating dope individuals, which you are. All we want to do today is really talk about you. We want to give a ton of folks the opportunity to get to know you on a deeper level and then follow along with your journey and all the projects that you're going to be involved in. So you ready to go?
Let's go. I appreciate you. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I think it all starts with the beginning, though. Would love a little bit of a deep dive as far as, where you're from, a little homage to the family, everywhere where you grew up and this journey started.
Okay. So it all started December 12th, 1991. Cold night and Thursday, December 12th, 1991, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was born in Philly. So really, I'm still an Eagles fan. I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Like the Sixers, like everything is really from Philly. But since Philly was kind of it's the North, the North is a little bit crazy. So my mother was a famous nail tech, and my father, he was dabbling in the music industry. Actually, he was in the music industry. He was a pianist. He was with Organized Noise, So Def, worked with numerous artists such as Outkast, Goody Mob. He even saw Future when Future wasn't even Future yet. You know what I'm saying? So he was already in the industry. So basically, he was from Philly though, but there was something going on in Atlanta during the 90s or something, whatever. And my mother and my father, he met in Atlanta, had a good time. And then they both realized they were both from Philly. They went back to Philly. And then I guess they, did a thing and they got together and then they had me. But since Philly was so so cold, and I guess it's a different type of environment, I guess they wanted me, since I was their firstborn, they wanted me to grow up somewhere that was much nicer, way more hospitality, and just a different spot than Philly, because my dad, he's fucking nuts. Can we cuss in the show?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Whatever you want. Nothing is this is whatever rated you want to make it.
Okay, awesome. My father is fucking nuts, and he's from Philly, so he probably didn't want me to turn out, having the same journey that he went through, because his shit was rough. So at 5 days old, my parents made the great decision, a blessed decision, to move back down to Atlanta, the place that they had met. So I'm born in Philly, but I was raised in Atlanta. So I love the Eagles, but at the end of the day, my heart is in Atlanta, Georgia. I love Atlanta. So basically, yeah. So I've grown up in Atlanta, and then I've been here really my whole life until I went to college to play at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't want to start off on the wrong foot, but fellow Pennsylvanian, PA all day. Yeah. I was raised in Harrisburg, but my dad's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I figured
Steelers fan. But listen, fly, Eagles fly. They got the most recent Super Bowl championship. No one's hating over here. As long as it's Pennsylvania, we all winning.
Facts.
Yeah. So you moved down to Atlanta, and I love how you just skip right. University of Arkansas. That's a big deal. That is a big fucking deal. Can we talk about the fact how, first off, I'd love to know the grind of that, because I feel like down south football is just different football.
Yeah.
If we could just unpack that and how it was for you in developing along and how you ultimately got that scholarship.
Yeah. So basically, I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and at 6 years old, See, I got kicked out of Montessori school because, like I said, my dad was nuts. So I got kicked out of Montessori school at 5 years old. My dad wanted me to beat up this kid who accidentally knocked out my tooth. And, well, it was a grace of God that I was being able to be led to this other school. So basically, I was in Montessori school at 5 years old, got kicked out because my dad was a nutcase going crazy. I love my dad. Don't get it twisted, but he is just crazy. But I went to this other school called Greater Atlanta Christian. It's a school in Norcross, Georgia. It's a private school, great school. It's my heart. It's really what shaped me into who I am today. I still have the same friends from the first day of class when I was 6 years old in first grade, the same best friends. We still chill. So I've known the same cats for 23 years. But I went to GAC from first grade until I graduated as a senior. And being at GAC is a very prestigious and well-loved school in the South and the Southeast. So a lot of people know about it. A lot of people know that it is prestigious and many kids want to go there. So fast forward, I mean, I've been there, played sports all my life and stuff like that. But then you get to like my sophomore year of high school. And Bobby Petrino, he was coaching Louisville at the time. And he had moved to Atlanta because he took the Atlanta Falcons head coaching job. So he took the Atlanta Falcons head coaching job, obviously looking for a good school for his kids to go to. And where does he pick? He picks GAC, Greater Atlanta Christian School. Now, I'm not thinking much of it. I really didn't give a damn about college football at the time. I just wanted to, get to college. I didn't really wasn't paying attention to it like that. I really wasn't. But his son went there. So I had the blessing, and I was fortunate enough to be playing in front of Bobby Petrino every Friday, you know what I'm saying? Because his son went to my school, and his son was a baller too, Bobby Petrino Jr. And we played in the same team. So his dad would come to the games on Friday. And it really started my sophomore year. I was the only freshman to play on varsity at GAC, and I played with some great cats. I played with Caleb King. I played with Lee Chappell, T-Bob Abear. It's a plethora of many other people that I got to play with. And it was just an honor to be just introduced to that, because when I was in seventh grade and eighth grade and sixth grade, you're going to the games, you're going to see the games, and you're just, you're kind of in awe of the aura of these senior football players and of these football players that play on varsity. So to jump into it right in ninth grade already, it was crazy, but it was also a privilege because I was the only one to do it. But then fast forward to 10th grade, my job changed, my duty changed. I was in ninth grade, I didn't play that much, played a little bit, didn't really get to see the field that much. But 10th grade, that shit changed. And I'm talking about changed dramatically. And I'm talking about I was thrown into the fire quickly because I was a quarterback. And I was a quarterback from fifth grade to ninth grade. And then they had this other cat, saying white boy, and his brother was already the quarterback. So he was up next. So I said, you know what? Let me help my chances. So I moved to wide receiver. And I never even played wide receiver ever before. But that was a fucking blessing because I was balling at wide receiver. And then I didn't play at the first game. I played rarely, but then the second game I got a chance because like a senior got hurt or some shit. And that's where it took fucking off. And I went off. And
your athletic ability must be crazy. How do you go from quarterback to wide receiver? And you're just like, I just need a chance. I just got in there and I balled the fuck out. And next thing I know, I was the man. Like, what?
But the stigma with black quarterbacks and stuff. Like, we already are kind of athletic. I mean, a lot of black quarterbacks, that stereotype that we're like running quarterbacks and stuff like that. And that kind of was me. I'm not even gonna cap. I was a running quarterback in sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. And don't get me wrong though, I still got an arm on this shit. But at the same time, I just knew my probability of playing would be better at playing another position. So I took the wide receiver position, and then me and the dude that took over, Colton Chappell, man, our chemistry was just insane. And we rocked, we killed it. And then at that time though, that sophomore year, I started really garnering a lot of attention from college scouts. And I was only 15 years old. And this shit was kind of crazy. It was a shit actually, because I'm on campus, young nigga, and at this predominantly white school, but getting all the love and attention and praise and stuff. I liked it. It was dope. But at the same time, like I said, Bobby Petrino was in the stands, and he was watching me. And I remember to this day, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. This is some exclusive information. But I didn't have a car in high school. You know what I'm saying? Nigga still was getting, dropped off and picked up by my friends and my mother and stuff like that. But I remember Bobby Petrino Jr., we stayed close to each other in Gwinnett County. That's in North Georgia. But I remember he said, like, yo, bro, we're going to pick you up when my dad goes back to college. And I said, what? Your dad going back to college? What are you talking about? I didn't know what the hell he was talking about at that time because his dad was still the coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Lo and behold, like 3 weeks later, Bobby Petrino made the announcement that he was leaving Atlanta and he was taking a head coaching position at the University of Arkansas. So how that played out was, I said, whoa, shit. And literally right after my sophomore year, I had a great campaign that year. I finished almost 1,000 yards. I mean, I had games where I still had, like, I set records that year. And that still are to this day at that school. We played top teams, and basically because the top team in Georgia at the time was Buford High School. And Buford High School has produced some immaculate players. And they have a great program and won a lot of state championships. But I balled out against them. And I balled out against a lot of schools that were like prestigious and well known for their football powerhouse programs and stuff like that, and balled out against them. I had like 244 yards against Calhoun, which was like the third best team in the state at the time. So I was just doing good against a lot of good teams. And like I said, that was garnering a lot of attention from a lot of scouts. And that's what made Arkansas, when Bobby Petrino took the position, he like literally like 3 weeks later after he took the position, they offered me at like 16 years old. And I didn't think really nothing of it because I was like, Arkansas. Like, what the fuck is Arkansas? And then this mid fucking West. What the hell's in Arkansas? I didn't know.
What's a Razorback? The fuck?
I know, right? Hogs. And I didn't really know. I really didn't give a damn at the time. I just wanted to keep on balling and keep on garnering more offers and getting as many offers as I can because, I mean, Arkansas at the time really wasn't, balling like that. It is what it is. But, yeah. So literally they offered me at 16. And I played my junior year and I played my senior year. I had 2 solid, great years as well. And I had ended up with like 17 offers, something like that. And it's crazy though, looking back on my life. I mean, I had some dope offers. I mean, especially being the fact that I'm in LA now when I go back and forth. I had offers from UCLA. I had offers from Nevada, Maryland, Alabama. See, Alabama was crazy because like Kirby Smart. And then when you're young and stuff, you're going to these summer camps and stuff like that, and you're meeting all these coaches. So I'm meeting Nick Saban and meeting Kirby Smart and all these guys. And I got offers from Alabama. I got offers from Georgia Tech and from Clemson and these schools. But see, at the time, they weren't even like crazy like that. This is like back in 2009, 2008.
Yeah, people hear Alabama right now and they're like, Roll Tide, roll. Oh my God.
Yeah, facts.
Well, but also people that don't know sports, I'm hoping that you can shed some light on the official visits as well.
Facts. The official visits are crazy. And the funny thing is, I only took one official visit, and that was Arkansas. See, I made my decisions really late. I guess that's my problem. Being a Sagittarius, I procrastinate and really wasn't taking like the official visits and the stuff serious. I was just like taking my time and just chilling on it because I took visits to school, like unofficial visits. Like I would go to the Georgia game versus Alabama. I would go to like mini games, but official visits, I only took one to Arkansas. And that shit was nuts. It was
Tell me everything.
It just was nuts. This is the craziest shit, right? But no, it was nuts. So I basically got all those offers and stuff. And the thing is, it's just that the familiarity. And people gonna take care of you. And the fact that me and Bobby was cool. And the fact that Arkansas had just moved from Adidas to Nike. I said, whoa, because I didn't want to wear Adidas. I said, okay, I couldn't wear Adidas, not for football. I didn't like their uniforms. I definitely didn't like the damn shoes. I didn't like Adidas. But when they moved to Nike, that perked up my interest even more. I said, okay. And I thought to myself, I was like, I could go to Alabama and go to a school that like already has these 5-star recruits, or I can go to Arkansas to help my chances and play early and maybe have a better chance of getting into the NFL and stuff like that. And also I could like help this team have some more like, bottom level tier SEC team. It's not the top like LSU and it's not like Florida or Georgia or Alabama. Arkansas is kind of like a little bottom tier, So I was like, shit, I might as well go to a school where you can shine at compared to a school that's going to be hella competition. So basically, I I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take my official visit to Arkansas. So I took my official visit to Arkansas, and I remember to this day, like we drove, my whole family came with me. We drove up there, and it just like I just had a great fucking time. I mean, you see that it's different than Atlanta. It was way different from Atlanta. I mean, it's like way more. It's called the nature state for a reason, because it's a lot of valleys, it's a lot of green, a lot of mountains and stuff like that. It's a beautiful drive. Arkansas is a beautiful state, especially Fayetteville, Arkansas, where University of Arkansas is located. I took a official visit there. You get to meet all the players. You just get mad love. You get just mad love, and mad love from everywhere, from the women to the players showing you love. You get your jersey in the locker. You see how it is going to be on game day. You get to go on the field. You get to run to the tunnel. You do the whole shebang, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so amazing!" You get to do it with your parents. My mother was with me. My sister was with me, so you get to see all this stuff, and it's like so crazy because it's so different than what you're used to being in high school compared to college, because it's like a whole vast difference. And then, I'm a party boy. I like partying, and having a good time. So, I mean, just the parties were cool. I mean, it was dope. I love how they show love to football players. I love how they just, I saw that football players ran that shit. And the fact is, some best players in the team was really like, I don't know, I guess they thought I was like the handsome guy. Like, yo, bro, Julian, the girls want to fuck with you, man. The girls want to fuck with you. And I'm talking about the top players in the team were telling me this.
You're like, I just got here.
Exactly. And some crazy things happen, but it's just like,
well, I will say, like, my favorite movies, like when I think about He Got Game, the program, Blue Chips, Any Given Sunday, it's always when it has to do with like the official visits or the parties. And it's like, it's safe to say you live that.
Yes, I did live that. It was a fun time. It was a great time. And at the end of my visit, I said, fuck it. I told Bobby, I said, I'm coming to University of Arkansas. I want to come. And he said, oh, great, Julian. Oh my gosh, let's sign the papers. And then we did what we had to do. And then I went to the University of Arkansas. And that was really it.
Yeah. And then you were able to go pro.
Yes. I went pro for and the pro thing is like, I went pro for like 8 months. It wasn't even a long time. I played 4 games, and they said, nigga, here's your card, and here's the door, and I'll see you later. And that's what they gave me. But at the same time, though, no one can take that away from me. And no one, because at the end of the day, I still got to play and see Aaron Rodgers. I still got to play in the Superdome. I still got to play in the Georgia Dome, and still got to play against the Vikings and stuff like that. And just be in the NFL locker room and be with these NFL guys all summer, all training camp, and going through just the NFL and playing games, playing in the game. And then by the end of the day, it's only 1% of the people get to make the NFL like that. And at the same time, like, college was crazy because like that's when, because high school is fun. And I'm gonna tell you about it right now. And just like adults told me back in the day, high school sports is the most fun you're going to have in sports, regardless, to me. And that's what my coach would tell me, like, honey, Julian, high school sports are going to be the best time you have in your life, because everything else is going to be fucking politics and business. And then when you realize that shit is real, that's when like the love kind of starts to fade away from the game, because they weren't lying. High school football was the shit. I mean,
because then it gets more serious. Then you got to follow the coach, then the program, whatever options they're running, their offense, their defense. Like, you just get to be free in high school.
You do get to be free in high school. It's free in high school. You're with your friends. You grew up with. And in college, you start to learn more about life. And that's what I love about college, though, because like it wasn't the classes that taught me shit. I mean, some classes taught me some stuff, but it was the dealing with so many different personalities that you weren't accustomed to. Because I mean, I went to GAC, and Great Atlantic Christian School. I'm going to school with, it's a predominantly white school. It's way more diverse now, but we had some black folks and stuff, and I hung around the black folks. But now you go to the University of Arkansas, you're going on people that's from Louisiana, you're going from Texas, you're going from Oklahoma, you're going from Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, an array of states, all different personalities, all different backgrounds. And you really just start to learn more about life and how it's just not this bubble that you're living in when you're in high school. You get to learn about way, way different people. You know what I'm saying? Niggas from the hood, niggas in the street niggas. You get to learn about white boys from the country. It's just a different type of thing. And then at the end of the day, being that people are from different backgrounds, everyone moves differently. Everyone doesn't move the same. So you learn about how people move, whether they snaky, whether they good people, whether they genuine, whether whether they bad. We get to learn about people and how they operate and what frequency they operate on. And just, that's what I loved about the pro game and the college game, was the fact that like you learn so much things that help you down and later in life, and how to navigate and how to deal with people when you leave the sport. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for every experience I got to experience, every opportunity that I got. But yeah, it wasn't but the sport itself though, it's just like, you got some dick sucking people that I'm not a dick rider. I'm not a dick rider. I can't fake it. I'm a genuine person. Even when I act, I have genuine thoughts, genuine feelings, genuine moments. I don't like faking shit. That gives me anxiety. So a lot of people were faking. A lot of people were just trying to be teacher pets. And then you just see the politics of the game, and you see just how people operate, how coaches operate. And that shit just makes you just say, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like you got into it for a whole different reason than the reason that is present at that time. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with just totally different personalities. And I will say, I didn't help myself in some situations either. I was fucking around and not really taking shit serious, but I started not taking shit serious because people weren't taking me serious in certain situations and shit. But still, by the grace of God, I still made the NFL and still got to play in the league and still got to experience a league that millions of people who put on the pads don't get to see. So to be able to still see it, and to still have that experience and have the moment in the league, I'm forever grateful to God for. I'm always going to be grateful for that moment. I have my jersey. My mom has my jersey. So no matter what, when I leave this earth one day, I can say I played in the NFL. And at the end of the day, when I started playing football at 7 years old and then stopped playing at 24, I can say that I made it to the top tier of shit. I made it. I got to see it. And at the end of the day, that's cool with me. It's just like, I'm cool with that. I was
going to say that you were true to yourself. You got D1. You went to the NFL. I mean, that's got to feel good. Like you said, like the percentages of people going from, collegiate to pro, like 1%, I was like, man, I think it's even a little bit less than that. But through it all, you've been on the upper echelons of what is considered, as far as athletic capability in this world. So I would love to hear, whether it be college, whether it was something pro, walking into like a dome, what was your most memorable game?
Most memorable game?
Whether it be you balled out, or was it just the vibe of you running into an arena? Like what's for you, like when you think about your playing career and it's like, man, that was a highlight right there.
It can be from any level.
Any level.
I was a memorable game. I had some memorable freaking games.
You can give me top 3. I mean, obviously you went to the NFL, so you have a ton.
The thing about it though, it's so funny because people probably feel like, oh, he probably has college games that are crazy and stuff like that. Like, this is the thing. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Like, I didn't feel. I'm gonna be fucking 100. I like the emotions I felt in college and NFL. I really didn't really feel that much shit. Like, even when we lost, even when we won, it wasn't like some crazy feeling that I felt, because I guess, like I said, when you go into college and this politics are playing into the role, and you don't, if you're not really, what's what I'm looking for? If you're not a factor as much as you want to be, no matter like what happens to the team, it's just like, okay, whatever. Because at the end of the day, if you're just not banking on you and you're not a factor as much as you would like to be, and this might sound selfish, I don't give a shit, but it's like the feelings and emotions really like aren't crazy as some other people perceive, as in fans and stuff. Some fans might, I'm sorry, these dogs are crazy. Some fans might think some shit was like crazy, but to me, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't get fazed by that type of shit. I get fazed by me making an impact. And then you ask what games meant the most to me. Like, the game that I stayed out to me the most was like the game that changed my trajectory of my football playing career was my 10th grade year. We were playing Buford High School, and Buford High School was number 1 in the state. And I had not, and before, this is our 5th game of the season. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. It was our 5th game of the season, and I had like 12 catches this year. I wasn't really like doing shit that much. I was still like under the radar and stuff. But Buford was number 1, and I'm telling you, Buford's been number 1 since I was in 3rd grade. I'm talking about. It was like, have you ever seen Friday Night Lights?
Oh, hell yeah.
One of the best movies of all time, sports movies. Like, they're kind of like some Dallas Carter shit. Like, just crazy, just fucking nuts, like scary. When you play these motherfuckers, you're gonna be like, oh shit, you're gonna Buford. Like, you kind of nervous. And it's But I remember to this day, like we played them, and I went the fuck off. And I still remember this day because my shit in high school, I would just like run fade routes a lot and just go get the ball and do jump balls and stuff. But I did like 3 jump balls that game, but I did 2 this one drive, and this one drive is what like opened up everyone's eyes to like, who is this kid? You know what I'm saying? And I scored a touchdown on this crazy ass catch I made in the end zone. It was nuts. But that's when like that's probably my most memorable game, because I think that is the game that I knew that I can do this shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Once I did it against Buford, and it was a top team, one of the top teams I've known. Like, it was like kind of like a fucking Alabama. When you're balling against a team like that, that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, I'm ready for this shit. I can do this football shit. It's just like acting. Like when you do like a big ass role or you work with a big time director, you're like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this shit. I can do this shit. And then once you know you can, and this is with anything in life, once you know you can do it, oh, that feels so good, because that pressure dissipates. And now you can just be yourself and go into it and be confident in it and ball. And that was the game that changed my mindset, my spirit, my soul, and the trajectory of where my football career was going. Because if I didn't have that game, I don't know what would happen. But that game made me like, okay, I'm confident as fuck now. Like, give me the ball. At the 10th grade, 15 years old. And you got still seniors on the team. Like, okay, who is this kid? This kid, I'm scared of this kid. Who is this kid? And like, I demanded it. And then I just took off. And I took off that year. And that game is what I remember most, like, as like a memorable game that like changed me.
I kind of love that, because I feel like how you said, like, once you know you can do it, you can do anything, and you just continue to ball out. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It sounds like throughout college and pro, you more realize this is a business. It's almost like you caught that vibe early on. And I don't think there's anything that like realistically, I wish I was a little bit more selfish. I probably should have transferred whenever I did. So like, tell me about that. How like, I think you should bring it to light, especially people watching, going through athletics, collegiate, pro. Like, it's not a bad thing to look out for you.
Oh, it's not. It's not, because those motherfuckers are gonna look out for themselves. And that's what I'm saying. You're young. I'm 29 now, so I was like, and at the end of the day, I don't know. I like watching Stephen Furtick. He's a preacher in North Carolina, but like he always says this thing: like, don't judge your past mistakes, because you're judging your past mistakes from your mindset that you are in now. You didn't know this shit when you were 19 and 20. So even if you did know it, you would have done better, you know, at the end of the day. But now that we've grown older and you learn, that's why yellow lights and red lights are there. And I got this from Matthew McConaughey. I saw him. He said this quote the other day. It's like, if life was all green lights, there'd be no fucking point to it. So the yellow lights and red lights you go through, the heartbreak, the trauma, the bullshit, it grows you and it helps you get to be a better person and become the person that you want to be and continue to keep on getting better, because life has no end journey. So you die one day, but you always want to keep on just elevating, no matter what age you're at. So being that I'm 29 now, and at this different age, I can say that like, yeah, I wish I would have done things differently, but I've learned and I've grown and I've become a better person because of the bullshit that I did go through by not being selfish, because I could have transferred. And the thing is, for anyone that's watching this and stuff like that, it's just like, yeah, you really do have to look out for yourself, because coaches do all the time. And it's not a bad thing, because you just said it. Once you know that you're in a business, that's business. And it's nothing personal at all. Just
Can't
like,
take it personal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and that's with anything in life. I mean, with acting, with music, with street life, with school, with anything. It's business is business. And a lot of coaches like Bobby Pacino, he did business moves. I mean, he left the fucking Falcons without saying shit, but it was a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's, once you know that everyone is operating at a level that is not as selfless as you are and not as whatever you want, because I'm very just like a selfless guy, and I want to be very genuine and nice and kind and everyone, I'm cool with everybody, but you still got to be aware. You got to be on your fucking toes. You got to keep your head in a swivel, because a lot of people will definitely take advantage of that kindness and use it as a weakness. You know what I'm saying? Because they see it as weakness. Even if you don't even determine it to be that, people see it as weakness. And that's why I think a lot of people did me sometimes, because they know that, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it's a business, and that you just have to be aware, and that whatever you feel in your intuition and your gut and in your heart, that's what we should go with. Because like you said, I should have transferred after my second year. I should have just fucking left. Like,
Well, I will say, I don't know if it was that off of a decision, because you reach the pinnacle of athletics with football and you get to the NFL, which is already a dream for so many people out there in the world. And then you become an actor. So,
yeah.
I mean, honestly speaking, it's safe to say you've lived out two dreams at this point. So I'm just like so anxious to hear and curious about, how do you go from being the top level of an athlete and then you're able to just seamlessly transition into the arts? How were you able to do that?
By the grace of God, number one, I would say that by the grace of God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior Almighty, the Most High, and the fact of their love and their guidance, and the fact of just the God-given abilities. Because by the grace of God, I mean, I've been able to be an athlete and have talent athletically. But you really like look at my family and just look at where I came from. A lot of people were in the arts. You know, my dad, music producer, my cousin, famous actor, Donald Faison, who played in Remember the Titans and played and did Scrubs and stuff like that. I have cousins that do music. My little brother, he does music. Just so, even with sports, I always looked at myself, and even cats in Arkansas, they would always tell me, they were like, Julian, no matter what, bro, you're going to be something great, famous or something, even if it isn't football. And I always took that to heart because, I mean, because I would make a lot of people laugh. I'm a character. So I just really I didn't look at myself as a football player. I looked at myself as an individual that just happened to be good at football. I didn't look at myself, I'm a football player and this is what I do, breathe and live and love, and this is all I know. No, that's not me. I'm not that type of dude. This is not. I'm good at football. I think whatever I put my mind to, I will get good at that shit and be great at it. I just like being great. That's what I'm obsessed with. So it's not really, I'm just obsessed with being good at shit and trying different things and being great. But with acting, I always did like, it even started when I was with my younger siblings, Zai, my little sister and stuff like that. And even my best friends and stuff. We would always do like, and I think a lot of kids did this, but like home recorded videos and movies and stuff like that. And then just, I'm a movie buff and I love watching movies and I love just the art of it and just the talent and the appreciation and the respect that you have to embody an actor and to really convey real emotion on screen. I love that. I love talent, man. I'm a talent dude. I respect people who are fucking talented. And that's what I respect. Because this world today is getting less talented by the fucking minute. And it's really hard for me to respect a lot of these cats. I respect hard work and I respect talent. And I do respect people who don't have the much talent and then they work hard to work on that talent and try to get better at it. I respect that too. But attention is the name of the game today. So it's just like, it's not respected as it used to be. But with acting though, and with sports, those two things, you have to have talent. Obviously sometimes some people are going to get through the cracks and they might not be that talented, but I still think and believe that like, if you want to have a long career at whatever you want to do, I know football and sports and I know acting, you have to have true talent. You have to have a respect for the craft. You have to work hard. And I'm all about that shit. And just with acting, I remember we had to do certain like plays in high school and stuff like that. And I remember acting and then all my friends were like, Julian, you're so fucking good as an actor and stuff. And I knew I could act and stuff. But I really just didn't have that on my radar as I'm growing up because, I mean, you got your parents and everyone wants you to play sports and football. We're here to see Julian play football. And then you ever said you want to be anything else, they look at you fucking crazy. But after football ended, I just like, I just couldn't see myself. I'm not a regular dude. I'm just saying I'm just saying I'm not a regular as in like, I'm not doing a regular job. I need to do something that's like,
yeah, you knew you weren't doing that 9 to 5.
Yeah. It's not me. I just got too much talent and too much just dopeness to just be settling. I know that I'm here for a reason. I know that I'm here to have a platform that inspires people, that motivates people, that gets people better internally so they can output great things externally so people can see the great things that they have to offer. And I know that I'm here for a reason, not just here just to exist. I'm here to live, and I'm here to live to make other people live and help other people grow. And But with acting though, just I made a decision because after the NFL, I played in this other league called the FXFL, and it was a league basically dedicated for the people that had been dropped out of the league and got cut, because everyone got cut, and you got like other people that are still really good football players getting cut from the league. And this guy named Brian Woods, dickhead dude, who didn't pay us really, but he created this league called the FXFL, which meant the Fall Experimental Football League. And this league consisted of four teams. It had like a team in Florida, I think it was called the Miami Sharks or some shit. You had a team in Nebraska called Omaha Mammoths. They had a team in New York called the Brooklyn Bolts, and they had a team in Boston called the Boston Brawlers. I was luckily selected to go to the Boston team. And to be honest with you, that shit was the most fun fucking football ever, actually. I didn't even touch on that, but that shit was actually because it's like four teams, but it's like it's like some like the longest yard type football shit. I mean, you got everyone cut from the league, but it wasn't like that serious though. It was retired like NFL coaches that just were looking for a paycheck. And then you just had guys who just got cut from the league, but just living life and shit. So you had an array of characters there too. It was like
you're like living the dream after the dream.
Yeah.
And still keeping it going.
Facts. And that's why I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this shit. But I still gave it a try. I met some dope people though. I'm still cool with some of the cats that I met though. And it was cool to live in Boston for like 6 months. I got to live in Boston for like 6 months. We got to play at Harvard and just experience the culture in Boston and stuff. So like things like that, I just love. And it was a real cool experience. And I got
someone you met in the league that helped you on to the next chapter? Because it like I know like with trying to get involved with the acting world, like what happened first? Like did someone find you, or like did an agent come up to you and was like, I have to have you? How did that transition even happen?
It was really just like, let's say it's sort of the grace of God and just by me just saying like using the hard work that I've been blessed with. So after the FXFL, I went to Arkansas, got my degree and stuff like that. Some bullshit happened in Arkansas, like, just bullshit happened. So I had to go back to Atlanta. And I really just had to make the decision to like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I'm like 25 now. And I'm like, what am I doing? Because now after like 18 years or 17 years of playing football, you're done. And now you're done, because I'm not about to be these cats. I'm not going to see. Basketball is different because overseas is way like it's NFL is NFL, and that's really it. You know what I'm saying? There's really not many outlets for football besides the NFL. See, basketball is different too, because basketball's so fucking dope because you can go overseas and go ham. You can go ham overseas. And I don't you know way more than I do, but I just know that some cats overseas still get paid nice, and some you get to live in different countries, you get to experience different cultures. So you are just not even getting an opportunity to play basketball. You actually are given the opportunity to become even a more well-rounded human being, because you get to be in a different culture, different languages, you get to explore more. So subsequently, you getting smarter, you gain more knowledge, gain more wisdom, and that's better. See, but football, it's like they try to create these leagues, the arena league, the XFL, all them shits crumble every fucking time, because at the end of the day, there is no competition to the NFL. You got the SEC and NCAA, you got the college football, NFL, and after that shit really over with. I mean, you can try to get back into the league, but the percentage of you actually making an impact of doing anything in there besides becoming a practice squad player or getting picked up and then playing like a game or two, you're going to just keep on going to team to team. That shit is not me. I'm not about to keep doing that. I'm not about to just keep doing that. Nah, I love football, but I don't love it that much, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not a football player. I'm just an individual that happens to be good at football.
Also, so, I feel like you get to an age too where you're like, I'm not fucking running these suicides anymore.
Yeah,
like exactly. I came ready. I'm in shape. I'm not getting on the line with this dude who didn't give a shit, out of shape. Like you're right. Overseas, there's a little bit more love for basketball. I loved my time over there. I know individuals so many years later still playing, but you're right. With football, you almost have to make the choice. Like, am I going to stay on this grind year after year and like push myself like we were in college, or what's the next chapter? And I feel like that's so hard for individuals. Life after sports. Yeah. So like, how did you cope and make what sounds like the seamless transition? Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Kimbali Podcast on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Kimbali Podcast. Kimbali gear can be purchased at www.kimbali.com. That's KEMBALII.com. And you can stay up to date on merch drops by following the Kambali brand on IG at Kambali_. New podcast episodes drop every Monday at 7 a.m. See you next week on the Kambali Podcast.